Hi. So, yesterday I recorded a pretty long video about how I've been, not today so much actually, but how I've been feeling a little discouraged. And it's like, it's always like a voice, an energy more. Um, I don't hear it audibly. It's more like a sense of something, of like, nobody cares. Why are you doing this? You know, um, you should just stop all this stuff. And like, don't worry, I'm not gonna stop. But I think it's cute that like they try. The voices try. I don't know where they come from, to be honest with you. Could be have nothing to do with me, could be someone else's energy. It could be just conditioning. Different part of me um that does think that way. And it's like, oh, that's cute. You think I'm gonna stop? Like Elizabeth Gilbert when she talked about the first time she sent, I think it was like an essay or maybe a book proposal or something like that. She sent it to a publishing company and they were like, yeah, no, we're good. I don't remember what they say, but she's like, oh, that's so cute that you think I'm going to stop doing this just because you told me no. It's so cute. Because that's just not how it works. But I would be not telling the entire story if I didn't say also that there are moments of like, what am I even doing? Why am I doing this? What am I doing? Like when you're building something out of nothing that is only in your vision, you've been given this vision, and it's not for other people to see, it's for you to see and like mold it, and play with it. And as you create it, it becomes what it's becoming. Like you don't have the full vision. You have maybe like step 1 and step 3 and step 8 and step 42 and step 10,000. Like you have like maybe the bigger picture of it. But all the steps in between, like you fill it out as you go, and especially for me, like when I create, I have to create from inspiration, otherwise it's just not good. And like I still show up and there's so much for me to do in between, like logistically and admin and all this stuff, where like even if I show up and there's nothing inspired coming through me, most of the work that I do is inner work. And then when I actually hit record, whether it's here or like on the podcast or whatever, it's just like an overflow. Like I just capture it, and I capture a lot and I don't share most of what I capture. And honestly, most of that is for me first. Yesterday, I was looking through some of my old stuff on my profile, and there was this message that I posted like 3 weeks ago. And I was just like talking about how I was like on such a high of like the creative juices flowing. And I was like, I think you should keep going. I think you should keep going. Like, get really clear on what you want to create and what you want to experience in your life and all this stuff. And it's just so funny because I was watching it and I, I I said the words, I recorded it, I edited it, so I actually heard it like a good 3 or 4 times even after that. And yet when I went back to listen to it yesterday, because I was in a different state of being and mindset, I was able to receive it as the audience and not the person who delivered the message. And that was really cool because I was like, oh shit, like this stuff really does work. Like it really is helpful, because I myself found myself in a state of like not doubting, but listening to the voices questioning me in my head. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Nobody cares. Like all this stuff. And I feel like because creativity is a very vulnerable process, because it's like you make this thing and that's good and dandy, but then you choose to share it with the world. and for all kinds of reasons. One is to connect with people. Like your vulnerability is how you're able to connect with people, and that's what we're wired for. That's our deepest longing as human beings. And so that's a very vulnerable experience. And so, I'm not always on like go, 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 do, create, create, create. Sometimes it is like, hmm, why am I doing this? What is the purpose of all this? And like, it doesn't last long, but I did want to just acknowledge that, like, that's very real. And I feel like every creative person goes through this at some point and probably at various points throughout their journey, no matter how far they've come. And it's just like, okay, cool. Like, as long as I can be aware that, like, that's not me. Like, no, that's not my energy. That's not the way I think. That's not what I believe. And just shut it down and make sure not to make any agreements with it and just keep going on my merry way. But it's like, here we are. Anyways, today I feel a lot more excited, inspired. I don't know. I've also had the girls for the last 2 weeks, and that's always a lot. And so today I'll drop them off and I'll get a couple days to, you know, resettle in here. Anyways, I think you should keep going. I know I should keep going, and have a good day.